Welcome to the first artist talk hosted by Mallet Gallery, a virtual art space showcasing contemporary art. Our inaugural exhibition Between Body and Space and Tangible Landscapes, Fragility and Variability of Perception features two series by the esteemed Argentinian artist Judith Le Roux. Today, we'll be diving into her powerful The Loneliness of the Body series, exploring her inspirations, artistic practice, and her unique presentation of the human form. Judith Le Roux was born in Cordoba, Argentina. She's a visual artist, photographer, graphic designer, curator, and writer. She has completed courses, workshops, and seminars in contemporary art, photography, design, curatorship, art working, art writing, community management, and marketing. She's a member of Habita and All About Curating associations. She completed her artistic residency in Chile in 2012. Since 2006, she has held group and solo exhibitions in galleries and museums all around the world, obviously in Argentina, but also in Uruguay, Mexico, Spain, Germany, Poland, Scotland, Italy, and China. Also, her works were selected for the International Peru Biennale in 2021 and 2024. She was also a finalist of the Maria González Luchini Salón de Mujeres in Argentina. Hi, Judith.
Hi.
It's wonderful to see you. I personally love your works, especially the Loneliness of the Body series. So I gave a very brief intro to your works and to your bio. Could you please tell us and our viewers, our audiences, a little bit more about the series, a little bit more about your artistic practice, your inspirations and techniques?
Yes, perfect. Hi everyone, I'm glad to be here, and I like to thank you to Carolina and Agnes for inviting me to be opening, to be part of this opening and the first exhibition to the Millet Gallery. With these two works of mine. One of them is Loneliness of Body, and the other one is the Tango Blue. Today I introduce and I talk about my first work, The Loneliness of Body. And I try to explain how emerged this work. Sorry, Carolina, I listening to double.
Oh, I can't hear anything. Sorry. I don't know what to do.
Maybe I listen you double. No. Well, I would like to explain how emerged this idea. Reading the first paragraph that I wrote for this work. According to Derek Hochfield, more and more people are feel lonely, and their life consists of proximity without presence, contiguity without contact, and familiarity without feeling. Then I would like to read more about that, but I would like to talk about the idea and how the idea came up, and how I decided to make the intervention, and why I decided. All the works that the artist made, it's part of the personal interest. usually. And sometimes the themes that the artist mothers, universal themes, but in particular vision. For example, for me, it's not deception. It's part of this personal story. I listen perfect. I perfect. I listen much better. So, in my career, I worked with this type of topic. I have been working with body, gender issues, stereotypes, standard of beauty, all the themes, fashion, social media, all these themes is the background behind all my work. And this work emerged too because when you feel different in this society, and this photography that I took some years ago, I took a photo in exhibition with these two little sisters, and the youngest remember me when I was a little child. I felt different because I grew up in a little town and I read a lot. I think I was a kind of artistic nerd person. And I wrote poems, I wrote stories. I'm interested in went to the museum in that time. Of course, when you were different, for example, in my case, I suffered bullying when I went to the primary school and in the high school too. And it's complicated being different in this kind of society because the society. This two illustration, it's part of my other works in the middle of this, and sometimes the illustration represent the idea to isolation, being different, and represent in different mediums. For example, in this drawing and illustration, the girls with the closed eyes and the girls without gesture in the faces, or all part of the same theme that is the body. The body is the same that underline of my work and how I feel about that, how I felt with my body, how I felt in front of the society with this kind of body. And when you feel different, or when you stay in a society that needs people have the same behavior, people the accomplish with the kind of stereotype of the standard of beauty, being different represent a problem with that, because you feel discriminated, you feel a part of this the tacit rule that the society established. Some authors talk about the society of the control that we live today, and this is some of my work that represent this idea about the body. For example, this one is the previous work that called Self-Portrait of Non-Body, that I took this idea of the concept to the Marc Auger, No Places, book of the No Places. And I translate the idea to the no places, to the no bodies, that is not in the standard of the society, the standard of beauty that the society accepts. The most of my work, it's represented to the back, from the back, the kind of the idea of the back to the society or back to the society stuff. This is more or less the background to my interest to this type of work, the feeling of abandon or the feeling of misunderstood, understood, or to adapt or not to the thing that happened in your life. And in this, and my personal battle, for example, with my body, or when I gain some weight along through my life, or not belonging to the standard of beauty, or how I felt embarrassed with my own body, or how I felt embarrassed with the gaze of others over me, this kind of thing. In this particular series, I have been working with this series for 5 years at least, because the first 5 pictures that Carolina and Agnes selected to the exhibition, I took in the 2020 in the middle of pandemia in my department, because no one is outside, and I go out when in some moments and took my photos, and then I went to my apartment and unlocked my apartment. For example, in this, all these pictures, and then I finished the other part of the series that I showed then. I finished this year that in 2024, last year. The final intervention I finished last year in all the series. Sometimes my works took time to finish, 2 years, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years is duration that I finished my some work, but this is the idea. It takes time to finish my work because I read a lot to do my work. I read authors. For example, I like to work with the idea of depression and the loneliness, and I read authors, sociologists, by philosophers that I like to write about this topic. In this particular work, I work with the solitary spaces in the middle of the nature, reflect to the idea of isolation, the loneliness, and all my photos from the back represent that. For all these works, I decided not to work with the pure photography. I decided to intervene the images because I believe in the intervention is richer. It's not only the aesthetic. If the concept is richer and adds more detail and adds more profound and adds more layers and layers of the meaning, you can find detail in some part of the photo. This technique called mixed media photography, and have been working with this since 2020. before I work with the photography, series of photography. The intervention I have been started in the pandemic in the 2020. I changed the way that I was working before. I think all the art that you put in the photographs add more complexity in the lecture to the thing. And in these 5 pictures, the first 5 pictures, in this one, I not took it myself or the human present. I replaced as a metaphor with a black umbrella, and a black umbrella I put on the corner, talking about the same idea: isolation, depression, sadness, being different, all the things. But I replace the human present with the black umbrella. All the things that I made when I construct my work, it's part of a lot of decision that took me to the final image that I have in my mind, and I need to construct to say something and not other. I believe I am a graphic designer too. I believe I need to the message can understand with the people. Yes, this is the same idea. This is not me. And intervene all the images with the black smoke. I intervene with the brushes on Photoshop. I delete some details. I made some photo montage, all the things and all the series. I choose the exactly location that I like to choose to say the message that I would like to say, and the message understood with the audience. But this is the other that is not part of the exhibition, but some of the series more that I made. This is the 2020, but the others that I made is part of the 2020. I made in 2024. This is the location. It's the desert part of the Argentina. It's the sea salt. Sea salt. This is abandoned houses, and the idea in these abandoned houses and blur the background. It's try to get these kind of things that the social media, how people felt isolation. It's a place nowhere, no places. You not belong. This is the idea. This is part of this. Right? This is the other one. I use field regenerative in Photoshop to delete the other part because it's part of the supermarket, this wall, and I delete this wall. And the other, this is the this is it's a kind of desert in Córdoba province in Argentina. And the idea is to talk about the isolation. This is the idea behind this whole series. This is the black dog. In my personal case, big part of my life through feel depression or sadness. And when I went to my therapy session, in therapy, talk about this, the black dog wait in the darkness, ready to appear in my life, and I need to pay attention to that. And I represent the idea of the black dog, or the metaphor of black dog, with the black smoke that invade everything. You cannot breathe, when invade this sadness or depression, and it's not in particular for me. And unfortunately, in this society nowadays, more than 2020, I read lots of people suffer depression, sadness, or increasingly the mental issues since 2020, because we live in the individualistic and narcissistic society. And I would like to read some paragraph that I wrote in my text talking about that. In time where bonds are so fragile and superficial that we can be in company of others and feel loneliness in the same way. Paul Toumier said, the loneliness is the most devastating malaise of the age. For concluding this talk, or to sum up my presentation, I really believe we have to focus on create some different bonds, more profound in community, to grow up as a society, as a better society. Thank you. If someone have a question, no problem. I answer the question.
We actually have few questions on
Okay.
yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. So I'd like to say thank you so much for the presentation. Thank you so much for explaining your work. I find your work very powerful, and I know it resonates with me a lot because you work with topics that are very universal. And very important right now, right? You talk about body image, you talk about depression, you talk about the sense of isolation, and you show it in such a beautiful way that it resonates with so many people, and therefore actually we can see this in the questions, right? The first I would say maybe it's a comment more than a question. Avni says, I love Judith's work. Her narratives are very powerful. She's very creative and wonderful human being. I cannot disagree with that. Later on she says, I don't know, maybe it's I don't know, sorry. Messages are universal. I am in London and they totally resonate. They resonate with me as well. I think this is something that it goes beyond cultures, beyond languages. So this is the power of art, and well done, Judith, for creating such a powerful message. We have a question. Thank you, Avni, for these beautiful comments.
Thank you, Avni. I know Avni.
Okay. We have a question from Rina. Hi, I have a question. What are the challenges of portraying such intimate and personal themes? This is a question.
Yeah. The challenge is trying to show a universal theme, but it's the theme that is part of my life. Okay. And the challenge is show or not show this theme and talk about it in a personal way.
Sorry, I have one more question.
How
would you like this is from Viesia. How would you like for your audiences to react for your works, and what would you like them to bring from your works to their own experience? And would you like them to, sorry, I have to translate it from Polish. So, would you like them to think about their own personal experience when looking at your works?
I think in general, with all my works in this topic that included universal topics and many people that feel the same way with the depression and sadness and different things. I think for me, I believe the artist, I feel as an artist, I need to give a message to change the way of the society move or feel, or I try to change this. I like to change the society, no, but I would like to change my work, give a message about certain things that that is part of the society, and we have enough time to change the thing. This is my idea. The message, give a message, and give a message to change the thing, change the scenarios, change the mind, to change the approach about certain things, for example. To invite to think.
Great. I have I have another question. It's a kind of follow-up question from Agnieszka. Do you think the society is changing for the better with time?
I strongly believe if all the society looks inside, looks our inner soul, and not occupied with the mask that show in the social media and the construct of fake happiness, we construct a better and more community society.
Yeah, because you as an artist, you're part of the big, discussion about different topics. You have a voice, and you use it to, challenge certain things. But then on the other hand, we all, because of social media and all that, we are talking. There's so much noise. So I think we are all generally discussing so many things, and then you are in a position that you have a leading voice to a certain extent, because you speak with images, you speak with art. I think, well done, fantastic. Thank you for your voice, and thank you for all your work that you're doing. And then I think I don't really see any questions anymore. There are some hearts and emoticons that we see on the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you. So I think what we can do, we can end this meeting. So I would like to thank you, Judith, again so much for showing your work with Melody Gallery, and sharing your thoughts and feelings, and providing us with this beautiful presentation. This was our inaugural artist talk, so that's a very important day for us, or evening, depending where you live. And then I would like to thank all audience for coming to this meeting. You live in different time zones, and you decided to show up. So fantastic. Thank you so much for this. This meeting hopefully will get recorded, and we have it on our YouTube. As you can see, there are so many technical challenges. The echo comes back whenever it wants. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Judith.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for asking for my work, for organize this talk, Carolina and Agnes. I really love you both too. Thank you for taking me and consider for this activity. And thank you for all the audience for being here. Thank you.